Gator.
Chop. And Blake. Yeah, so in case you didn't notice, we mixed up the intro a little bit. Let us know what you think. I thought it was really well written.
Yeah, I've been working on it for a while.
You put a lot of time into it, I can tell.
Yeah, I had to write it out several times. Just to kind of get the...
Well, you don't want to say the wrong thing, and I felt like the air horns and the they were very tastefully done. Because you can overdo air horns, but I felt like this was just the right amount of air horn.
I feel like it was the only thing that we could improve upon is maybe some like police sirens,
Mm-hmm. Maybe trumpets?
I mean, trumpets are always good.
Or like flutes?
Or mariachi bands.
Oh, yeah. Like, what do they call those things you shake with the sand in them? And it gets all kind of like groovy feeling. I think if it had some more... Yeah. If it had some more like groove to it, kind of like a laid back...
Well, we can work on it. It's evolving. It's growing.
Work in progress.
Yeah, it's art, man.
It takes time.
Takes different forms in the beginning. So what's in the box, guys? Hey?
Oh, yeah. Let's see what's in the box. No, we're drinking Evan Williams tonight.
Yay.
It's already on the table.
All right.
What's the matter? You don't like Evan Williams, Chop?
I mean, who doesn't like Evan Williams?
That's what I'm trying to say.
He's a nice guy, man. He mowed my lawn a couple times.
Did he? Evan Williams?
Yeah. After he threw up on it.
I didn't know he was into that.
Yeah.
Dude, I have a lawn guy now. That shit is game changing. Holy fuck.
Yeah?
You're not having to worry about it? Hell yeah.
Oh, yeah. I didn't even think about that.
Motherfucker just shows up and like every couple weeks.
Yeah, but you didn't do it in the first place. You just worried about it all the time.
Yeah, dude.
God, I'm so fucked.
I got an ulcer. I'm worried about my lawn. We got to mow it. I don't know what to do. Got me all worked up.
You should tell him to come mow my lawn when he's done. Because you know who my lawn guy is?
You.
Fucking me.
Yeah.
Oh, you mow lawns? That's cool.
But that shit sucks.
Yeah.
I'm not a fan.
I like it. I think it's great. It's a healthy activity to do outside with your family.
Yeah? Do they help you mow the lawn?
Yeah, we make a picnic basket and take it outside and I mow the lawn. And
I blow all the leaves into their
Yeah,
face.
they sit on the sidewalk and get hit with rocks and shit. It's awesome. You should try it sometime. It's a wholesome tradition in America,
See, I'm trying to avoid that. Like all of it.
Oh.
All of it.
You just want to worry about it instead?
Yeah.
Yeah. Like holidays. I know you don't like Thanksgiving, but you like to worry about it.
Yeah.
I can see that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Do they mow lawns all over the world?
I don't know.
I didn't
Like,
think they
that
had
sounds like a
grass
dumb
ups.
question, right? But, like, do they sell a fucking lawnmower in France?
Probably.
Yeah, because they do wear grass to cover up their...
Oh, but it...
Ding, 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 ding.
The drive is on the other side?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, they have to do it backwards. They go the other way.
Or like
Counterclockwise.
the blades on top of it instead at the bottom.
No, but like
Sort of like oops.
in like fucking Tokyo or something, like they probably don't need them,
Why? They have like digital grass or something?
Yeah. No, like the
It's
shit's
like
so
Bitcoin
densely
grass?
populated. Like motherfuckers living in New York probably don't need one, Like, where's the closest fucking strip of grass,
Yeah.
Damn, you had a lawnmower, you could probably start a business in New York.
Probably.
People are like, I just want to hear it start. just
I just
give
want
it
to
a rip.
smell it.
Just give it a rip. Yeah, it smells good, dude. You can't tell me you don't like the way a lawnmower smells.
Gasoline? Yeah. Who
Yeah.
doesn't?
Yeah.
Breathe deep, my friend.
But I mean, other than like Central Park, probably nobody's really got grass nearby them.
But that's what I mean. They have to have lawnmowers.
Oh yeah, like the city or something. But like an individual probably doesn't need one.
What about, like, Australia? You think they mow their grass?
No, it's all dirt.
Yeah.
It's a desert, dude.
And what about the rest of Japan that's not Tokyo?
They don't have grass there.
It's just rice.
Yeah.
You can't mow rice fields. It's underwater.
You need a scythe for grass, right? Isn't that how they cut it?
It's all rice fields and cherry blossoms. Like, come on.
Ooh, yeah, lawnmower's not going to be
guess.
good against a cherry blossom.
But like a German lawnmower?
Oh, they
They got tons of grass, bro.
yeah. They got lawnmowers that are like,
Mercedes-Benz lawnmowers.
Yeah.
BMW
Volkswagen.
lawnmowers. Yeah. Can you imagine?
Audi.
Luxury lawnmower that you push around. It's just got like leather on top of it or something.
Or like Russia? Do you think Russians use lawnmowers?
No, it's fucking -12
They have
always.
snowblowers.
Yeah.
Maybe a shovel.
Yeah, I just feel like they just worked like 18 hours in a gulag, like making steel or something.
What's a gulag?
And now they have to Mow their grass? They come home and mow their grass?
Isn't that a dish?
Yeah. I eat gulag with noodles.
With noodles?
Yeah. Egg
Gross.
noodles. What's a gulag, Blake?
It's like a underground prison or something.
Oh, wow.
Oh,
Like in Warcraft.
I was thinking Bossing Say.
Or Jeremiah Johnson. There's a gulag in Jeremiah Johnson. I remember now.
Yeah, it's like a work prison.
Yeah. That's cool. It's like a steel mill on Simpsons.
Or North Koreans, that's what they do. They just throw all their citizens in the gulag.
I think North Korea is a gulag. Like
Oh,
the whole country. Yeah.
Damn, that would be cool. I think that's what they tried to do with Australia.
Yeah.
But Australia was like kind of a cool place, so they kind of fucked it up.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're like, there's no grass, mate.
We should just throw all the undesirables into North Korea. Let them go. You're free.
We've been working on it, bro. What do you think we've been doing with Rodman?
That's true. It's smart.
Who's this? Who are we getting rid of?
Dennis Rodman.
Oh, yeah. No, he's on a humanitarian mission. And
Yeah, that's what we've been telling him.
Whoops.
Yeah, turn your cell phone off, Blake.
Sorry, guys.
There's no cell phones allowed in the gulag.
Yeah. You don't want people to know that this is a gulag.
No cell phones allowed in the
Actually.
goulash.
My wife is texting me saying that her cigarettes are in here and she doesn't want to mess up the recording. So she's texting me. Hang on, I gotta text her back.
Wow.
Oh, they are right here.
That is some quality content right there.
We're live action here.
Oh, there she is. Seamless, like a fucking ninja.
Damn.
Nobody even knew you were here.
Didn't mean to drop that. It's kind of loud. Right on the floor, the wood floor.
All right.
Turning my phone off now.
So I have something close to my heart that I want to talk about because it's come up in the news lately. It's actually going all the way to the Supreme Court, from what I understand.
Your lungs?
No.
They're close to your heart. So's your liver, kind of, in your stomach.
Your spleen, your appendix,
It's closer in your brain. You know what I'm saying?
What about my spine?
or your dick.
Oh, that's really far away.
No, that's definitely
So far
Definitely close.
away.
But no, it's satire.
Is that, like, can you use it in a sentence
Uh,
and give a definition?
Country of origin.
country of origin. Satire. I'm pretty sure it's Latin.
That's just a good guess, right?
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
So tell us what's going on.
It comes from the Satinus. So the Onion wrote the Supreme Court and actually, I guess, filed a case saying that satire is important and serious.
And they made a joke about it,
Yeah.
but they were serious.
Yeah. Because satire's,
In perfect Onion fashion.
satire's not a joke.
But it is funny.
Well, like, jokes are serious business, you know?
Yeah.
So
Now they are.
I don't like it how people just come up here and joke and everyone laughs like it's fucking something to laugh about. Isn't this no laughing? Jokes are no laughing matter.
Mhm.
You know, people need to fucking listen and try to soak it in. Quit making such light of it.
It's a business, and you really shouldn't be, trying to delve into something that you don't really know all that much about.
And if you're laughing, it's just because you're stupid and you don't understand.
Well,
you
some
know?
people can't help it. You know what I mean? Laughing is contagious. You know, it's one of the 4 contagions that the human experience shares with other animals and rocks. So, like, I'm serious though, guys.
It's no laughing matter.
It's not. It's not funny either. Okay. But no, seriously, it's contagious. It's like a disease.
The other
Or yawning?
contagion, yeah, I was going to say the other contagions. So there's out of the 4, there's laughing, yawning, shitting yourself, and and sleeping. I'm pretty sure is the last one.
Yeah, if you yawn, yeah, it makes people sleep too, and then you go to sleep.
Yeah.
It's really interesting when you study those types of things. You know.
What about zombies though? Like, that's contagious.
Oh, and should we classify vomiting? I feel like that's contagious, right?
Definitely.
Because
Yeah.
I've definitely seen one person throw up and it caused a whole chain reaction of everybody in the room throwing up.
Maybe there's more than 4 things.
Yeah.
I should do some more research on this because vomiting for sure is.
Maybe we shouldn't talk about things we don't know about.
What were we talking about?
Satire.
Satire. Yeah,
Okay,
it's not
so
funny. Stop laughing.
so I guess some motherfucker created it was like a local police station Facebook page, right?
It was satire.
And he created a Facebook page that mirrored that page and was just making jokes, making light of it. And he ended up getting arrested on a felony count of like obstructing justice or something. And I think he ended up being acquitted, but then the police department is suing him now, and the Supreme Court's trying to figure out, like, what do we do about this? Because there's some kind of immunity for like government officials or something like that.
Mm.
And The Onion is basically like, look, and for a millennia, satire has existed, and it's most important in social discourse surrounding politics. Like, that's where we need satire the most.
Mm.
And so, and then they, to make light of it, they were like, it also just so happens that that's how we all make our paychecks, but that has nothing to do with this,
Right.
Yeah, it's not funny. Not a laugh.
So it's not a funny story. It's not. It's serious. Serious. But, The Onion standing up for civil liberties.
Through satire.
Which is amazing.
And not funny.
Not at all.
Not a joking matter.
No, it's serious. Serious as cancer in your balls. It's pretty serious.
All right, let's take a shot.
All right. Evan Williams.
You want to hear the pop? Do we even have to pretend?
No.
Can we just fucking do this?
Acknowledge that it's a screw off in a plastic bottle.
You're a
with
screw
plastic
off.
lid.
Jesus, Blake.
Drink that shit.
Hey,
Hey,
please.
what's up?
Pays for horses.
You don't want to, Gator?
No.
All right.
Shots, let's go.
Should we rate it?
No.
It's hard. It's small.
We just can't, we can't do a show where we don't, we're still going to drink. We're going to skip that part of it.
Just like I remember.
Yep. Delicious.
From my childhood.
It does take me back,
Mm-hmm. Dude, okay. So speaking of childhood, McDonald's, everybody's childhood fucking restaurant.
Nope, I don't know, actually.
Put a smile on. I'm loving it, whether I like it or not.
Ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
Oh, yeah.
Can't forget that.
Yeah.
So they're taking a nostalgia trip and they're making an adult Happy Meal.
What?
Which is perfect, right? Because everybody that still eats McDonald's as an adult is just reliving their childhood memories.
Yeah.
Because it's not good. Can we all just acknowledge that it's not good?
Yeah.
But yet, I'm not trying to act like I haven't eaten McDonald's in the last week. I've eaten McDonald's in the last 2 days. Just do,
But what qualifies it as being a adult Happy Meal?
Well, okay, so
what's adult about it?
a child Happy Meal,
Is
right?
there
Like the
bigger
Happy
portion?
Meals that we remember. It was, it came in a
Terrible,
little box and you got some chicken nuggies or some,
Boogers
like a
or-
hamburger or something, right? Like a little mini.
Hamburger.
And then you got, if I remember right, from my childhood, you got like a little cookie or something in there as well. And then you got like a little toy,
It was like the Hamburglar.
Yeah. So I think for like the adult version, what they're doing is they're
Burger
putting
King,
in,
bro.
they're putting in
Grimace. Remember Grimace? What a piece of shit. What the fuck? Do you know who I'm talking about?
oh yeah.
Yeah, dude.
He was the purple moth, right?
Yeah, but why? Was anyone like, yo, this is my homie, fucking Grimace. Grimace is oh man, I got the Hamburglar, I wanted Grimace.
Dude.
It's probably not even his name, but that's what I remember it as.
So my imagination was wandering whenever I read this, and what I think the adult Happy Meal is that you get like a Big Mac,
Patty
like
whack.
a tall can of Lone Star, and like a pocket pussy.
But that's not a Happy Meal.
Sounds good to me.
I mean, no, don't get me wrong. But couldn't you just sell that as its own thing? Right? I don't know. I guess that's what I'm confused about. So say it's, now they're like, hey, now we're doing adult Happy Meals. And you're like, awesome, I'm going to get a Happy Meal for adults. And they're like, yeah, it's a double quarter pounder with cheese and a large French fry and a large drink.
Exactly.
And you're like, wait, but
And it comes in a Happy Meal bag, and you're like, nostalgia.
no, but what's important here is the toy.
obviously.
What if they're like,
Let's
you
be, like,
don't get a toy?
When you got a Happy Meal as a kid, that was like the highlight, right?
Yeah, that's the reason for the occasion.
But you can't eat the toy.
No. But you can, play with the toy.
Throw it in the trash.
Fuck the toy if you really wanted to.
So you think there's adult themed toys in adult Happy Meals?
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess I'm still confused.
Maybe it comes with like a porno mag,
But no, I'm being serious. This is no laughing matter. This is like, what the fuck? What are they going to do to make this a Happy Meal? Like, what could you possibly put in it to make it a Happy Meal for adults? Like, the whole nature of it is that it's like smaller and you get a toy and it makes kids happy.
Maybe it's bigger and it's got like, fucking football cards in it or something.
Those are for children also.
Yeah.
They're like, oh yeah, it's got Pokemon cards in it.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
Why Pokemon cards, dude?
Because, kids, Pokemon cards are for adults, right?
No.
They're for adults too.
Why not like gift cards or like a gas card or something?
Damn, a gallon of gas. What if it was worth a gallon of gas?
Like, you get 1 free gallon of gas.
But then you're just buying a gallon of
At a
gas at
gas
McDonald's.
station.
That seems inconvenient. Like, you don't go to McDonald's to get a Happy Meal as a kid to, like, get something that, like, is useful.
Socks.
Yeah. Yeah, dude, there we go.
Yeah. If you can make a sock puppet.
Well, like a candle or something? Like, what the fuck? What are you gonna, what, that's what I'm asking. What can they honestly put in there that's like, oh, awesome. I got.
All right, so I'm going to break it down. Back in the day, when you got a toy, it was themed, right? So, like, for a long time, it was the Ronald McDonald motherfuckers, right? So you had, like, Hamburglar and, you know,
Grimace.
Grimace.
The only
Yeah.
two that I can think of.
And Ronald McDonald.
Yeah. There was like a chick that was like a chicken, I think.
Sure.
Maybe.
I don't know. So that was the theme for a while. And then, like, they eventually evolved to where they had, like, other themed things. So, like, I remember when I was a kid, like, with, they had, like, a Sonic themed one for a little while. So, like, you get little, you know, Sonic or Knuckles or Shadow or, you know, the Sonic characters.
Okay.
And then, like, I also remember them doing for a little while, they switched, like, the little handhold bullshit games that fucking suck.
Uh-huh.
Where it's, like, rings floating in the water and you gotta, like, flick them up and try and make them land on a little pole or something.
Oh, those are
Break it,
cool,
drain all the water
dude.
out, and then throw it away.
Yeah.
Those were fun, man. How cool.
But, like, they were always on theme. So, like, you know, there was, like, 5 different toys that you might be able to get, and they were related to something, right? So,
Uh-huh.
the ring one was, like, sports shit, and then, like, the Sonic one was obviously Sonic, and then McDonald's one were, you know.
Do you remember when they did like board games and you had to peel all the fucking little bullshit cardboard pieces off to make the pieces? And
Oh, yeah.
you're like, this is trash. I'm gonna throw this away. And it like wasn't a real game. Like you couldn't play it. It was just fucking
Yeah. Just looked like a game.
yeah.
So, what are adults into? Sports, one, would be, like, men, but we're trying to do gender neutral here, because Happy Meals are universal.
Uh-huh.
So,
Well, trans people like sports too.
yeah.
And women like sports, just not as much as men.
Right.
What about, what's that game where you throw the bean bags?
Dude, I'm telling you, it's fucking liquor. It's gotta be. It's gotta be.
Well, doesn't
Instead of a cookie in your little Happy Meal, you get a shot that you can throw into your fucking large drink.
I guess.
And that's the surprise. Sometimes you get rum, sometimes you get whiskey,
See,
sometimes you get vodka.
Honestly, like I'm trying here. So like you could do like an adult themed like Rick and Morty or something, okay?
Okay.
But you're still gonna make like a Rick and Morty toy or a Rick and Morty card or some kind of Rick and Morty collectible.
Mhm.
You know? That's still a toy for a child. You know what I mean? That's not. And you can't do liquor. Like McDonald's can't sell liquor. I mean, I'm down. Don't get me wrong. I'm down. That's what it should be. Should be pocket pussies and bottles of liquor. Or a dildo, whatever. What if
Okay.
it was, how about this? What if it was a dildo on one end and a pocket pussy on the other? That way it's whatever you're into.
Sure.
You know?
What if they double down and instead of doing liquor, they're just like, it's drugs now. It's a surprise. You might get a bag of weed, you might get heroin, you might get coke, you know?
Some mushrooms.
Yeah.
That's not safe for kids, though.
No, because it's an adult Happy Meal.
This isn't happy at all. I'm kind of having a panic attack right now. Grimace is chasing me. Oh fuck, Grimace is here. He wants his money.
You're like, all right, we can go to McDonald's and you can get a Happy Meal, but we're getting an adult Happy Meal and I get your dessert. It's fucked up, man.
Grimace pops up like in the back car seat.
Yeah, I really don't know. It's just a gimmick, right? It's just a gimmick to get you to buy a fucking double quarter pounder with cheese and a large French fry and a large drink.
What's
Yeah.
good? What's gonna be nostalgic about it?
No, like, look, it's in a Happy Meal box. It's in a big Happy Meal box now.
Hell yeah.
And it's like, this is the same thing that I got last week.
It's just a new bag.
Yeah.
It's like what? Why?
I
Yeah.
mean,
Like a chocolate milk, but it's like twice as much.
yeah.
Adult themed pancakes. Okay, they're just like
Hell yeah.
a bigger stack of pancakes.
Maybe if they paired with Amazon or something and you got some credit for, you know, like a gift card for,
Yeah, like a gas card or a gift card.
But that's just buying gas with more steps. That's what I was saying.
no,
sucks.
no. It's like a Amazon gift card or a, like Audible gift card or something like that.
Didn't they already do this with fucking Monopoly?
Yeah, Monopoly's dope.
That was...
No, not like the game. The game fucking
Yeah,
sucks.
yeah.
But like the Monopoly game at
McDonald's.
McDonald's?
The
Yeah.
sweepstakes that was all
It was
fake.
rigged.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's fucking... I feel like that's what we're talking about.
But we wouldn't. What? How? We're not talking about that, are we?
So your little prize is just like a little fucking drawstring bag full of McDonald's Monopoly shit.
Yeah.
Sometimes you get one, sometimes you get like 30.
No way, dude. You just got to put like gift cards in the bag with it. Comes in your Happy Meal bag.
What would you want? Like, you could do like, what about like fishing lures?
That'd be kind of cool.
You know?
Even if you didn't fish, you'd be like, that's
You know what?
cool,
Actually, I do remember a time back in the day when there was male and female Happy Meals.
Yeah, of course.
You remember, Chop.
I do.
You remember. What else do you remember,
And
Chop?
you couldn't call them that anymore, but you could be like, do you want a fucking pink one or a blue one?
Yeah.
You know?
Do you want a fishing lure? Or do you want like, a bath bomb?
Yeah. See? There you go. Okay, we figured it out.
Bath bombs are cool, man.
I want a blue one, but I want one with a bath bomb in it. A blue one with a bath bomb in it.
Yeah, a blue bath bomb.
I could see that. That would be some self-care shit,
Or a candle,
Yeah.
Or maybe like a golf ball marker.
Oh, yeah. Or some teas.
Tease nuts.
I like the gift cards, man.
I don't know. It's all stupid.
Yeah, it's definitely a gimmick.
So, McDonald's brainwashed us as kids to be like,
Oh, you think?
oh, McDonald's. Like, that's why we want Happy Meals now.
You think the dopamine hit with a toy is not a fucking Pavlov bell every time you eat their fucking garbage? And you're like, oh, toy! Endorphin release.
Yeah. So,
You think that's brainwashing? Really?
I gotta respect the hustle, Like, they figured it out, and we're like, all right, we can get an entire generation of people to eat fucking garbage for, like, the next 60 years.
Mm-hmm.
So I respect the hustle. But recently I was at a university up north, and it was a school of nursing, right? College campus. And, on their wall, they had a plaque that said, Apple Distinguished School of Nursing. And so my first thought that went through my head was, what the fuck does Apple know about nursing? Or schools, really, even for that matter? Because they're a tech company and based out of
Apple.
Yeah.
Okay.
And based out of California, and the school's in New York. So I'm willing to bet that they don't have a lot of like representatives wandering around the campus going, wow, this place is great. So
That's where Apple hires all their nurses from.
Yeah.
For the tech company.
Mm-hmm. So I was like thinking about it, and I was like, well, how would they distinguish what is a Apple distinguished school, And I was like, oh, they have a bunch of Apple shit in here.
Yeah, just get an Apple.
And so I did a little bit of Googling and found out that Apple distinguished schools, like in the description, it's like uses Apple technology to connect their students with the world. And I was like, okay, so they got an Apple fucking computer lab and got a little plaque about it.
So earlier today, Chris is out, by the way. I don't know if you guys noticed. And Chris is the one that makes the TV work with the Apple TV or whatever so that we can read our topics and shit like. Anyway, it's part of our technology. And the joke was that we couldn't make the TV work because we don't have iPhones, right? And that's what he always says. Well, just get an iPhone and you can fucking make the TV work. So can you imagine if you were in a hospital and they were like, bro, the fucking heartbeat machine is just reading flatline and we can't make the fucking paddles work because I don't have an iPhone. And they're like, bro, just get a fucking iPhone. What's wrong with you? You have that Android? You have a Google phone? Really? How are you going to make the paddles work? You can't.
Yeah.
And now it all comes up as green text on the heartbeat monitor. It's not even right.
Dude, that's some shit. So I browse the like Tinder subreddit sometimes just because I think that shit's funny. There's a bunch of people making asses of themselves and posting it, right? So it's a lot of people being like, oh, I eat ass and, that kind of shit. But every now and then you'll get like reject messages from girls that are like, oh, you're too short or whatever. And recently it's been a trend of like, they got their number, right? And then they text them and it's like, oh, it showed up green. Sorry.
Oh, I get it. Because like they don't have the same.
Yeah. They're like, you don't have an iPhone? Fuck
loser.
you.
Loser.
That's kind of wild, dude. iPhones aren't even that cool.
Yeah. You just get all the nurses to where they can't use anything other than the Apple
products.
Technology.
Yeah.
Or, I mean, realistically, you just make them comfortable with it, right? Like, you make them acclimated to it. They understand the interface better. And then, because that's what they were taught. And then they get into a professional situation and they're like, yo, all this fucking other shit is whack. Let's get the Apple shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's not. And then you use the Apple shit and you're like, it's just like worse. It's like less convenient. They're like, look, we
totally redid the way a steering wheel works in your car. And it's like, doesn't make any sense at all. You're like, why'd you do that? I want to use my hands to steer, not my feet. And they're like, no, but it's an iPhone. And you're like,
It's innovative.
yeah. It's the iCar 15, you know, and you're like, oh.
They're like, it's innovative. And they're like, yeah, but like Audi tried to do that fucking 20 years ago. And then they're like, oh, this sucks. We should go back to driving with our hands.
Yeah.
And Apple's like, no, we'll do that in like 3 years and call that innovative.
Yeah.
This is like some of my favorite shit, by the way. Like,
What?
we're getting to shit talk. One of the things that I absolutely hate and get like gangbanged on anytime I bring it up in public. But like the one person who would actually defend it isn't here.
All right, so just go into it. Why do you hate Apple?
Yeah, dude.
All of it, man. All of it.
Oh, gosh.
No, but
Just
honestly,
get an
though,
iPhone, dude.
yeah, that would solve all my problems. I probably wouldn't be mad at Apple people if I had an iPhone.
Right.
Dude, I don't know. I can't hate on it, but I don't enjoy it. It's just not any better. Like when people try to sell you on it that it's like, it's life-changing and it's so much better than Android. It's not. It's like less convenient. I don't know how to, like I described earlier. They're like, oh yeah.
My favorite thing that Apple people will do,
Apple people.
yeah, is one, they'll be like, oh, this product's amazing. And I'll be like, yeah, but it's expensive as fuck, right? And they'll be like, oh, but it's worth it because it's so good or whatever, right? And then they try to flip it, right? And they'll be like, oh, well, I have like a $1,500 phone with the best processor and the best camera and the best whatever, right? And it's like, okay, that's like the one thing that isn't more expensive. Like my phone is also the same price and has all of the same fucking hardware in it that your phone does. Like you could argue any fucking piece of Apple equipment else and maybe, you know, like, okay, they've got this little edge or whatever. Maybe. But it's still going to be way more expensive. But that's like the one thing where they're like, oh, you're just poor and can't afford an iPhone. And it's like, no, that's definitely not the case at all.
What about all their shit's proprietary? You got to buy fucking Apple bullshit to power Apple bullshit to plug into Apple bullshit.
It's horrible. And the headphones, you can't just get like universal headphones that can work like anywhere with anything in the world. You know what I mean? Like the 1/8 inch jack or whatever. The little tiny, like we're using right now.
Yeah.
You can't use that. You got to get their special ones. And if they don't work, then it's like they get dirty or
Go pay a few $100 more, get Apple proprietary shit.
I think it's they give you like a phone, but they don't give you like the charger block. They just give you like a phone. You're like, what the fuck, dude? And a cable maybe, because they're like, yeah, you're not gonna be able to figure this fucking shit out. We'll give you that, and you got to get the like Apple charger, or else it like doesn't work. It's like not an Apple device connected to the phone. You're like, no, fuck you, dude. It's plugged in the goddamn wall. It's got electricity coming through it enough that you know that it's not a fucking Apple charger I'm using. Fuck you. Let the juice flow. But it won't, dude. That shit's annoying.
Yeah. So honestly, my okay, since I have the opportunity, I'm going to take it. My fucking one be all end all the reason I will never switch is because Apple wants you to use all Apple shit. And I don't even mean just their hardware that's expensive, but also their software. So like on my phone, on an Android, if I don't like my keyboard, I go download another one and go, oh, I want to use this one instead. And that's the end of it. If I don't like the way that my fucking apps look in my fucking tray or whatever, I can download an entirely new launcher and it'll completely change the layout. Like, whatever the fuck I don't like about my phone, I can change it. Like, with no problem at all. I can just go into the App Store and be like, oh, yeah, new keyboard. This sucks. End of story.
Damn.
Dang, I didn't even know that.
Mm-hmm.
That's cool.
Yeah, I didn't. Yeah.
And then, like, to kind of tie onto that, like, third-party apps and shit like that to, you know, you have to jailbreak an iPhone or whatever, and then you can do all... I can literally go into my phone, tap a button like 3 times, and it'll turn on dev mode, and I can do whatever the fuck I want.
What about the cameras? Those are getting kind of out of hand, aren't they?
Yeah, dude, look at this bullshit. I have 5 fucking cameras
God
on the back of
damn,
my
dude.
phone. 5. There's no need.
Yeah, I'm in the same boat. It's ridiculous, too. Like, why, though? Like,
I only have 4.
Oh.
Fucking broke bitch over here.
Yeah, I don't know. Do you remember back in the day when it was like, oh, I got like a 3 megapixel camera? It was like, damn, bro. You're a photographer now?
I guess you could say it's getting pretty serious.
Now it's like, oh, the front-facing camera is only like 18 megapixels.
Yeah.
I don't know how I'm going to take selfies. I can't take selfies in 4K. What the fuck is this garbage?
Yeah. That's wild, dude.
Well, yeah, fuck Apple then.
Yeah. Fuck them.
Fuck cell phones, dude. That's where I'm at. I don't like Android either. It's some bullshit. You gotta have a phone number so people can call you and shit.
Dude, so there's 2 people I know, like, very close to me. One of them he does use Android, but it's like, I'm going to buy the one that comes for free, you know? And he's like, I can fucking text and call people and like pull up a map if I have to on Wi-Fi, you know? Like, I don't give a fuck. I don't need a $1,500 phone. The other guy that I know that guy's like my age. Like he's not like an old dude, right? The other guy I know is an old dude and he uses a flip phone now to this day. Like he refuses to get anything with like a touchscreen on it. He uses a fucking flip phone. Not only does he use a flip phone, he uses a flip phone and refuses to get a plan that has texting. Like the motherfucker doesn't even get text messages.
That's kind of like, dope. How much more do I have to pay so that I don't get text messages?
Dude.
So he only sends and receives calls. That's it. There's nothing else. No emails, no text messages, none of that bullshit.
What a man.
Is that y'all were making fun of me 2 weeks ago because I called somebody? So I was hanging out with my dad and we were at a hotel and I was trying to order pizza, right? And I was like, I'm going to jump on the app, right? Because I got a fucking Domino's app.
Sure.
And I'm going to change the thing. And it's like, no Uber Eats in your area. That's what it was. I was trying to use Uber Eats first. And it was like, no Uber Eats in your area. And I was like, what the fuck? I thought it was just because I was in a small town, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So then I jump over to the Domino's app and it was like, not currently available or just some fucking bullshit.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, so there's no Uber in the area. Domino's app doesn't support the area. I know there's Domino's here. Like, I know there is. And Dad was just like, just type in Domino's. And he didn't even say into Google because he didn't fucking know. He's just type it in. And I'm like, what do you mean? And he's like, you just type it in and it'll give you the phone number. And I was like, am I supposed to text him? Like, I'm supposed to text on what? And, anyway, he tried for a minute and he was like, he couldn't make it work, couldn't pull it off.
Sure.
And I was like, I don't know, Dad, I guess we're just kind of fucked. And we go back inside the room and as he's doing the key to the door, on the fucking key, it's like Domino's serves this area. And he was like, oh, look, right there. See, it's got a phone number. And I was like, oh, shit. And he called it and he was like, hey, I'm at this hotel. And they're like, yeah, we deliver there. And he was like, cool, I want this. And they fucking delivered it.
Damn.
And I was like, old school, you just call them motherfucker.
Damn.
I wasn't even going to do it. I was like, no, because if we call them, they're going to tell us to order it on the app.
That's the shit. I don't know. I don't like texting people or emailing or really any of that shit. Like I'm definitely a I call motherfuckers kind of person. Unless it's like I'm sending a picture or something, But like for the most part, if I want to talk to somebody, like I do not fucking answer text messages very well. Like every now and then, I'll get like a reply in, but like for the most part, 90% of the time I'm calling a motherfucker.
Yeah. Well, I'm kind of torn on this subject because I hate answering phone calls too. And every time my phone rings, I'm like, fuck. Even before I look at it. Like, I don't even know who it is. It's not that I'm like, fuck, I don't want to talk to this person. I hope it's not them. It's just like, fuck, my phone's ringing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I get anxiety, dude.
And so, like, that's nice to just be like, yo, fucking Taco Bell, ? And then Gator's like, yee. And I'm like, all right.
Yeah.
That's it. That's the whole conversation,
Mm-hmm.
And then, but then sometimes you're like, hey, I'm going to run to the store later, but I'll be back by 11. If you get here before I get here, the code to the door is this, this, and this. And, my wife will be here kind of also, but she's going to, and then eventually I'm just like, wait, I'm typing all this shit out right now in a text message. Yeah. And I just fucking delete it all and call and be like, yo, this.
So the only person
I'm all about efficiency. I want to, whatever is the most efficient.
The only person or people that I like text on a regular basis are people that I don't like ever want to meet in person. Like my lawn guy, he'll be like, I'll be there in 10 minutes. And I'll be like, awesome. Later.
Good. I'm leaving.
Yeah. And then 2 or 3 days later, he'll be like, hey, invoice. And I'll be like, all right, yeah, it's paid. And I'll be like, all right, cool. That's the extent of the conversation. It's like, I don't really want to hear your voice or anything or talk to you face to face.
Even
it makes my arm sore, bro. Hold my hand.
This is going to sound shitty and I know it is, but fuck it. I'm going there. Dude, the whole pretense of hey man, how's it going? And they're like, oh hey, and you're like, everything cool? Yeah man, having a good day. How about you? And you're like, oh, I can't complain. It's not bad for a Monday. Fucking stupid shit like that. That just took an entire block of my time.
Mm-hmm.
I had to exist during that fucking interchange,
Yeah.
Can't we just skip that?
Yeah.
Hey, it's Blake. When are you going to get here to mow my lawn? And he's like, I'm almost there, you fucking idiot. And I'm like, all right, I'll pay you when you're done. Click.
Yeah.
Why?
You can send a text
and it
message
shouldn't
and say that, though.
like if it's something like that, it shouldn't be like that. Should be a professional way to have a conversation. Look, I'm to the point. Let's just get this shit done.
Just email him instead. Email the same message instead.
He doesn't have an email.
Yeah. Well, call his mom.
This particular individual has an email.
You know what I'm saying, though, right? Like,
Yeah.
you got to call a vendor, and you're like, "Hey, man, it's Blake over at this place," and they're like, "Oh yeah, how's it going?" And you're like, "Oh, pretty good." And
Yeah, and I feel like in certain areas it's worse than others. Like,
you're like, "I'm calling because I need widgets. Do you have widgets?" And they're like, "Nah." And you're like, "All right, thanks, bye." Or
Yeah.
even that seems pretty. I guess I can just go ahead and drop it. All right, thanks, bye. At least give them a thanks. For the sake of being polite. Even though I think that's a little bit excessive. Could just hang up, right? I don't need to talk to you anymore then.
What if you want to know how the weather is, though? That's always interesting to me.
Well, then don't fucking call me.
See, that's
Look outside, bitch.
that's where you have to think about the efficiency, right? So instead of saying okay, bye, because that's impolite, and you want to throw a thanks in there, you drop the bye and you just say okay, thanks, click.
Yeah, and we could even drop the okay, right?
Yeah.
Thanks, click.
Okay.
So
Click.
I've gotten to where I can do that, and it's awesome. So like certain businessy things. So like for instance, like, I travel for work. I'll call a hotel ahead of time and be like, "Hey, how much are my incidentals going to be?" And they'll be like, $75 a night. Thanks. Click.
Yeah, that's nice. Sometimes we'll get to the end. It happens with my wife, right? Like we'll get to the end of the conversation, and we're clearly at the end. There's closure, and so I just say, "Okay, love you, bye," and all I want her to say is, "Love you too, bye," and then we can hang up.
Mm.
But inevitably, she goes, "All right, love you too," and then I'm like, "Bye." Let's just get this shit over with. Come on, I got shit to do. You know what I'm saying?
You know who's a fucking G at this?
Uh-uh.
My grandmother. So she stopped all fucking end of conversation. She doesn't even say bye. Like she just fucking.
She don't give a fucking.
Yeah, she'll be like, "Oh, you're coming to see me next Tuesday," and I'm like, "Yeah, well, I'll see you then." She's like, "All right, well, whenever you get here,
bring pie." Click.
Yeah. She'll be like, "Whenever you get here, check in at the front desk, go to my room or whatever." And I'll be like, "All right, well, I'll see you then."
Done.
Huh. I guess she's gone.
Ooh, that's dark.
Yeah, don't leave me hanging, Grandma.
Grandma?
But for real, like she doesn't say shit. She just fucking hangs up the phone. That's it. Into conversation.
Yeah, that's efficiency. She's got shit to do,
Not really. She really doesn't.
Well, she doesn't have a lot of time to waste. How about that?
That's fair. That's fair.
Give me that. Shots, let's go. That's what I meant.
So I got a couple things, and the first one I'll go off of is since we were talking about deliveries and shit like that before. I just did a thing where I was up in Rochester, New York for work, right? And
Tink.
So first of all, I don't know if y'all know this, but there are some non-driving motherfuckers up in New York.
See, they barely have cars. How do they have lawnmowers? I just don't believe it.
Yeah.
It was fucking crazy. And I got about a day in before I got the real full New York car driving experience. And this isn't New York City, right? This is a small town in New York. But before I got the full on, like, somebody like, and hanging out the window and giving the finger. And you know what I mean?
That's
like,
a real thing?
Oh, yeah.
See, that shit happens here, but usually that means, like, someone's about to start shooting or something.
Right, yeah. No, it's like, this was just like...
It's just like polite conversation.
Yeah, this was just like a Tuesday afternoon, it's 5 o'clock kind of thing.
Hey, fuck your mudda.
Yeah.
You're like, oh, thanks. Bye.
Like that.
But, okay, so my favorite of the non-driving motherfuckers that I ran into was, it's like I was trying to get into town, right? And there's a 2-lane road, and it goes down to 1 lane, and then you have to, like, go across a bridge, right? Right where it goes from 2 lanes down to 1 lane, there's a, like, driveway into an apartment complex, and this is definitely cocksucker of the week also, by the way, but some cocksucker fucking pulled his car, like, halfway into the apartment entry driveway, left the ass end of his car hanging out into the street, threw his flashers on, and fucking bailed.
Maybe he broke down.
Yeah, he just had to run inside and get his fucking...
Yeah, he was just dropping something off, But what's fucking wild about this is, so that pissed me off, and I was like, all right, whatever, and got around it, and went about my day, got into town, did whatever shit I was doing there, and then came back, and on the way back, The fucking car was still there.
Does this not seem like a reasonable place to park?
So it was probably like a 45-minute to an hour long endeavor that this car was still parked there. He's blocking off the entire driveway.
Dude, he got stoned and forgot.
Probably. But he's blocking off the entire driveway to the apartment complex while also simultaneously blocking a lane of traffic. It was honestly kind of impressive, and I wish that Chris could have experienced seeing this.
So nobody can get in or out of this apartment complex.
Yeah.
And you're blocking traffic at the same time.
Yeah.
That's efficient, man. He's getting
It
shit done.
was, it was some crazy shit, dude. One of the most impressive,
Automobile maneuvers of like the 21st century.
Yeah, definitely.
He needs to go down in the Guinness Book of World Records.
So that was super impressive. But also while I was riding around, and this is the one that kind of like stuck with me a little more. It's a little bit like a core memory, you know? So I pull up to a stoplight. I've got somebody else in the car. We hit this corner. There's a bus stop on the right. The dude at the bus stop is bigger gentleman. He's wearing a jacket, you know, like he doesn't look like a homeless motherfucker, like crazy batshit person. You know what I mean? Like he's bigger dude wearing a jacket, jeans, work boots, whatever, right? And like a beanie or something, right? Cause it's New York. But we pull up, we're at the corner, we're bullshitting, and, you know, we made a joke about the guy cause, you know, fuck him. But then I'm sitting there like waiting for the light to turn green, and the person in the passenger seat went, that dude is pissing himself. And I looked over, and there's a, you know, little fucking fountain coming out of the front at waist level. And then you can see him shake his fucking boots, and there's shit dripping out of his pants.
Hell yeah.
And he just pissed himself right there. Like, didn't make a face, didn't fucking make eye contact, like just staring up into the sky, just fucking went for it, sent it.
And this is not New York City,
No,
right?
No. This is Rochester, New York. Small town. I mean, it's a city. Like, it's not like a small town, like a fucking 500 people kind of thing. But it's not anywhere on the fucking list of this is a big town.
Yeah.
You know, they got a couple of buildings downtown that are like, oh, nice, that's 20 stories.
My dad used to call it Rottenchester.
Why?
I think,
Because it sounds like Rochester.
yeah.
I get it.
Yeah, just kind of like, you know, I don't know what you have the right word for that, but yeah. Sounds like that.
I forgot you grew up in New York.
Well, I lived there for 8 years. Upstate. Never went to Rottenchester, though. I mean,
Did you watch people piss themselves on the corner casually?
Have you been to New York City?
Yeah.
You have?
Yeah, I went to the Bronx Zoo when I was like in first grade. We went down there for, this is a weird story. We went down there for a field trip. My dad was a chaperone, and he was the only man who went, like with our kindergarten class or whatever. And I'm not trying to share too many details, but we were like walking through this dark part of the thing, like of the zoo. It was like some exhibit, and some guy like groped one of the moms, and she was like, Dennis, help me, you know, and he was like on the other side, and he was like, what do you want me to do? Like,
Yeah, what do you want me to do?
yeah, what do you want me to do about it? You know, like, it was like, oh my God. I didn't know it went down at the time, but he like explained to me later, and I was like, dang, dude. He's like, yeah, she got like attacked and she tried taking the purse and stuff, and he's like, what do you want from me? You know, like, and I was like, I guess, you know. What, am I gonna get stabbed?
Just give him your purse.
Yeah. Oh man. Yeah, so we went there, and then we went to...
Sounds like a great time. Sounds like a wholesome experience.
That was my first time there. Second time, I went to a hockey game at Madison Square Garden. And I remember some dudes like playing saxophone in like the entryway. It sounded really cool. And then like the third time I went, that time was kind of crazy. I was a little bit older, and I was with my cousin who was like 15 years older than me, and he worked in the city. But I remember like walking through, and it was like people shitting everywhere and fucking pissing everywhere. And I was like, what the fuck? And he was like, come on, keep moving. And I was like, okay, let's go.
Sounds like San Francisco to me.
Yeah. I was young though, so I don't know.
I went to New York City once, and I would have been about 10, because it was about a year after 9/11. And
Oh wow, okay.
we did all the stereotypical touristy shit, you know, went to Times Square and went and saw the fucking Statue of Liberty and all that shit, you know.
I bet crime went down right after 9/11. And I don't mean that as a joke. I'm not being
Right,
satirical here. I bet it really did, because there was...
Because it's not funny.
Yeah. Well, I mean... yeah, there's a lot of unity. There's a lot of pride. Everybody knows everybody's hurt. Like, you know, there's community there. So I bet honestly that was a pretty safe time to go to New York. You know, when all those people died.
Yeah, I bet a lot of people are like watching their backs and they're like looking out for
And
each other
honestly,
and stuff.
I wonder how much of that correlates to like less about like the community and the people being like, let's not rob these motherfuckers, everybody's hurt, and more charitable shit. And so they were just like, I don't need to rob anybody.
Yeah.
Fucking getting fucking handouts over here.
Hot sandwich.
Anyway,
You were in New York?
yeah. So this dude casually pissing himself is the standout of like, how do you do that?
I don't know. I think I would struggle with it.
Because I mean, this motherfucker was ultra casual. Like, didn't make a face, didn't make like, just kind of like standing there looking around, just pissed himself, and then shook his boots and saw shit flopping out of the back of his pants and
Carried on.
It was wild. Yeah,
Would it be easier to do it like if you pulled it out and didn't pee your pants?
Yeah,
yeah,
definitely.
for sure. If I was at a bus stop, hell yeah, I would pull my dick out and piss right there on the fucking bench and not have a
If I
problem.
was
with
on a bus, I would still rather pull my dick out and piss on the floor than pee in my pants. So, you know, some people get like stage fright, like they go up to the trough urinal and they're like, oh, I can't pee anymore.
Yeah, I don't worry about that.
I don't struggle with that at all. Trying to piss in my pants, like while I'm conscious and sober, would be like that. Like I feel like I would be like, this, I can't do it. I can't do it. Can't I just please whip my dick out, please? Look, I'll do it in the corner.
Yeah.
I'm sitting in a seat. You can't see me. You just pee out of the corner of your shorts onto the floor of the bus. You've never done that?
A couple times.
Yeah. Sometimes you gotta get shit done.
You gotta
know?
go, you gotta go.
It's efficiency.
I tried peeing in the cup and just missed, you know.
So also while I was there, one of my favorite, like, just, this was actually kind of funny or cool. I went to like a little Irish pub or whatever, right? And I went to the bathroom. Bathroom was dangerous, by the way. Really poor design. You walk in the door opens up and it's on your left-hand side. The urinals are also on the left-hand side. So one of them is safe, but the other one, like, if you are using it and somebody fucking shoulders that door open, you're gonna end up in a urinal. Really poor design. But next to that, they had a poster on the wall that was like the urinals of Ireland, and it was somebody that went on a trip to Ireland and photoed all the urinals they used at the bars and shit. But it would be like, you know, this bar, really poor choice of somewhere downtown, and it's just like a graffitied wall.
It's like a bush.
Yeah.
A bush.
Why a bush?
I don't know. It seems like a reasonable place to piss, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Well, you don't like sticking your dick in bush?
I don't know. You can get hurt sometimes if you're not careful.
Dude, I've definitely been downtown and like it's after a concert or something like that, and I'm
Yeah,
like,
like
I gotta
pee your
go.
pants.
But you don't want to. Like, you get in a lot of trouble for pissing in a public place.
That's
even
why
if
you
it-
pee your pants, dude.
Even if it's like behind a dumpster or something, it's I don't know. It's still kind of sketchy if you get caught.
Yeah, that's why you gotta pee your pants and just carry on. Let your shoes dry out when you get home, you know?
I've peed on a wall downtown.
Yeah.
For sure.
Statute of limitations.
Yeah.
We're good. I think somewhere there's a picture of all of us lined up on a wall. Like 7 of us, and we're all peeing.
I was going to say, I'm pretty sure there was somebody else in the room that was also lined up on the same wall.
I think we need to talk about that guy, though. We all know who that guy is. But that guy who will, like, piss at the bar, but, like, on the bar, at the bar.
Oh, I know that guy.
Just like a guy, like, standing at the bar, and he'll just, like, take a leak at the bar while he's talking to you.
So I know that guy, and he's not necessarily a piss at the bar guy, but he's definitely a just piss on whatever the fuck he's sitting on guy.
Yeah, I don't think you want to be that guy.
You ever known that guy, though?
Oh, yeah. The same guy that would just pee on whatever he was sitting on also threw up on the bar.
Yeah? Yeah.
And, like, not even in, like, a, you know, really, really drunk kind of way, but in, like, a I just can't take a shot and effectively keep it down kind of way. You know? So he just, like, took a shot and was just like, oh, that didn't sit well. All over the counter.
See, you gotta have some tact. Like, have you ever seen someone try to throw up into the beer bottle?
No, but I saw also the same guy try to throw up in his hands on the way to the bathroom. That doesn't work also.
Yeah, don't do that. Don't do that. Because now you got puke in your hands and on the floor.
And on the floor.
Just throw up on the floor, dude.
Yeah. Well, I'm not coming back here. All right.
In fact, they want us to go now. They said we can't be here anymore. It's not me, by the way.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe one of those was me. But not all of them, damn it.
Have you ever like violently thrown up in a public place? Like, I don't mean like public, like, oh, I was at a friend's house. I mean like
Like with
really
people
public.
watching?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, but I don't remember a time, but I can imagine.
That makes sense.
But I can imagine, and I feel like I would try to make light of it as best I could. I'd be like, "Blah," and then I'd be like, oh, I don't feel good. I gotta go.
If you were coherent enough to even think about that.
Yeah, there's that also. Yeah, but who hasn't been so drunk they just throw up all over themselves?
Yeah.
I mean, that's normal, right?
Yeah.
Shots, let's go.
Oh, man. I have a story that I wish I could tell, but I don't think statute of limitations would save me on this one.
Well, now it won't, because you already admitted to it.
Yeah. But suffice it to say that there was one time I went to 6th Street, and the best way I can put this is I ended up with somebody else's shit all over me.
Like, literally?
Yeah.
How'd that happen?
Sounds like they shit on him.
No, they didn't shit on me.
Oh, they shit on themselves and then
Sat on you or something?
got it on you?
No, they shit like all over the toilet seat.
Oh.
How did you get shit on you, though? Because you didn't see it on the floor when you walked in?
I didn't have the
He
time.
slipped and fell in it?
I didn't have the time to analyze.
What?
To analyze?
Yeah.
Did you sat down on it?
Yeah.
Oh! Ow!
So I think statute of limitations are safe on this one. There was drugs involved, and it was I need to shit right now. And that wasn't an option in this particular bathroom. And so as soon as this gentleman walked out, I ran in and sat the fuck down and blew my guts out, but at the same time, also sat in a pile of shit.
Well, fuck that guy.
Yeah.
How'd you clean that up? Did you get in the sink?
Dude, it was really bad.
You should have just shit in the sink.
I had already previously shit in a trash can.
Oh my god. This is a public place.
Yeah. This is at a bar.
Did you stay and hang out afterwards? Or?
No, I went across the street and bought a new pair of pants.
Did you get new underwear too?
That's awkward if you're buying pants at like 1:30 in the morning.
So I bought a
And you're
swimsuit.
and you're like, never mind. Like,
Oh my god.
that way, if you have to shit again, you can just rinse them off in the sink.
You're like,
Put them
hey,
back
I
on.
like to party, dude.
That's smart. So you remember how you were judging the fuck out of this fat guy that peed all over himself?
Shit in his pants. Shit in the trash can
No,
at bars.
I did not shit my pants. I shit in a trash can.
Is that somebody else's shit
In your pants.
in your pants?
Somebody shit my pants.
Dude, somebody for real shit my pants.
You gotta go buy a bathing suit so
Yeah.
you can keep partying.
And that's what I'm saying. Like, if you're buying pants at 1:30 in the morning and the guy's like, smells like shit. You're like, never mind. I just need to buy these pants for no reason right now.
It's not my shit.
Also, do you have a trash can?
How'd you pull it off? You send it to somebody else?
One leg at a time.
Oh shit, dude. That's good. Sorry, Job. We're
It
laughing.
wasn't a good night.
We're laughing really hard, man. But hope you're
It's
laughing
no
with us.
joking matter.
Yeah, it's really not.
serious.
It's his satire.
Yeah. All right, well, now that we got that out of the way.
Satire. Good stuff, dude.
Y'all are degenerates.
Yeah.
And Gator, you're full feral.
I think that last story more than proved that.
Trump, what kind of vape is that? I have a vape story.
Pastel Cartel, Kilo,
Kilo?
Oh, Keela.
Raspberry. But it's
raspberry.
It's raspberry flavored, but it's Kilo.
What is raspberry?
Yeah, what the fuck is
I don't know,
that?
it's
Brownberry, raspberry?
I'm assuming it's blueberry raspberry.
Ah, gotcha.
But,
So
what?
I started vaping so that I could stop smoking cigars. And let's be real. I don't even know that my goal was to quit smoking cigars or quit smoking altogether. It was more of just like, hey, this is convenient because I can smoke inside.
Yeah.
And now I don't need to smoke cigars anymore. So I just am smoking vapes. And, some of the guys have made fun of me for smoking vapes and shit. And I'm like, dude, it's fucking cool. It's more convenient, it's cheaper.
Smoking Nick and never mind.
So today, I went inside the vape store and they didn't have the straw nanners, which is a very masculine flavor, right? Is it flavor? Is that what you call it? It's gotta be a flavor, right?
Sure.
So they didn't have straw nanners, which was a strong, like, masculine flavor. So I'm looking for something else, and I'm like, I want to try something different. So I got the rainbow flavor.
That shit's pretty good.
Shit's fucking really good.
Yeah.
And I vaped it. One of the guys in my shop was like, "Hey, what flavor is that?" And I was like, "Yeah, it's fucking pussy flavor. It's fucking fresh cut grass and
Campfire.
And I was like, "It's rainbow." And he was like, "All right, let me try it." And he was like, "Damn, that's good." And I was like, "I know, right?" And he was like, "What is rainbow flavor?" And I was like, "Dude, it's unicorn farts, bro." Bro, it's unicorn farts.
No, I can tell you
It's
what.
awesome.
I can tell you what it is.
What?
It's Skittles.
Rainbow?
Yeah.
Oh, that makes sense. Yeah, but I don't even like Skittles. Skittles are gross.
Skittles are gross because they stick to everything. But
Yeah.
like flavor wise, they're all right.
Well, it's delicious. And it made me realize that, like, I don't really give a fuck what you call it. You know what I mean? Like, you can call
Yeah.
it fucking young man jizz flavor. If it's fucking good, I'm gonna, that's what I'm gonna smoke.
It's like that comedian that was talking about Cinnabon. He was like, "I'll take the Cinnabon with the extra jizz
Extra
sauce."
jizz sauce. Yeah.
Doesn't matter what you call it. Shit's good.
Yeah,
But I do wish that they would, like, make it a little bit easier on me, like, fuck, dude, I'm doing what I can to support this company. Can you make it so that they just give me some regular ass names?
Like, what would you want, Blake? Give us an example of a name.
Like,
If you could come up with a name for Rainbow, what would it be?
what if you just did, like, confidence?
Back sweat.
Butt sweat.
Butt sweat.
Nobody would buy that.
No, back sweat, though, maybe.
Sweaty man ass.
Armpit hair.
No, that wouldn't fly either. I feel like I would still get made fun of.
Ball hair.
You're smoking sweaty man.
You're smoking ball hair.
You're smoking meaty cock pole.
Bloody boogers.
Yeah, what if you just called it, like, confidence? What if you called it, fucking, like, make up stupid names for it? Boss mode.
What about like?
Boss mode.
Okay,
You
but,
know?
okay. So follow my train of thought here. All right,
All right.
Rainbow. Right.
Yeah.
What if you did something like trout?
There you go.
Like
Cutthroat. Trout.
I don't know, like
Brown.
fresh stream, fucking fly fishing or something.
Yeah, that's all I'm saying. It's just make it easy. I feel like there's marketing people that can do better at this than
Gentle
we do.
stream. Gentle stream. Right there. I want gentle stream. I want brisk wind. I want summer
Okay,
forest.
so that's like, so they got me with this, right? There's a candle company that does like all Texas themed shit, right?
Uh-huh.
And I buy their shit all the time because they're fucking assholes. But one of them's like Texas Thunderstorm.
Yeah. Dude, give me something like that. Come on.
There's another one that's like fucking, instead of calling it like Blue Bonnet, it's like, Open Prairie or something like that. Hell yeah.
Manly, it's tough,
They do have a couple actually main, like they have like a campfire centered one,
But for real, they should have just called this one Unicorn Farts. Like, that would have been better.
Yeah? Would you have bought it then?
Sure.
What if it didn't taste like that? It tastes like farts. What would you do then? Did you ever think about that?
Yeah, but unicorn farts taste like rainbows and flowers
What if they didn't?
and butterflies and sprinkles.
What about this? Nah, I don't want to go there.
Okay.
It's a little too crazy.
So yeah, we need to start marketing vapes towards dudes. That's probably the largest demographic that smokes them, right? I would think is dudes.
Why don't you do like Dorito flavor and Cool Ranch and
Because that'd be
Oh,
gross.
dude, is that the next
No,
seltzer?
I like
Like-
the flavors that they're using. Just instead of calling it, banana berry punch, just call it fucking punch.
or banana.
You know how like everybody jumped on the seltzer wagon? Like
Yeah.
it was like, all right, White Claws are fucking cool now, and then it was like, all right, Trulies, and then fucking Topo Chico, and then Sonic, and then fucking Bud Light, Natty Light, and everybody was like, all right, seltzers.
Mhm.
Is vapes going to be the thing where it's like Mountain Dew flavored, actually by Mountain Dew?
That'd be cool. I would try it. But again, I like the flavors that they've got. I don't
You
want
just
them
want better names.
I just want better names.
I hear you.
Liberty Bell.
Okay, so
Freedom.
Yeah.
I
Freedom.
especially agree with you, considering that the branding for this is Pastel Cartel, or it's Escobars,
Yeah.
right? So you're like, name it after drugs.
There you go.
Maybe they can't because they'll be like, that's technically selling drugs.
Coke shits. All right, I'll try it. Again. So yeah, I bought another round of rainbow vapes. And,
Rainbow farts.
I'm just gonna have to
What is it? Dolphins? You said dolphins fart smells like rainbows. No, unicorns,
unicorn farts.
ludicorns.
All right, so I got
What
a
if you
question.
just called it pussy?
Yeah.
Because that's
Right.
that's not fair. That's,
Why,
You're not selling that, dude.
dude? People would buy the shit out of that.
Yeah, but it's a lie.
Well, yeah, it
You
doesn't
mean-
taste like pussy. It tastes like rainbows, and those are two different things. I'm just saying.
Exactly. You don't want to piss off your customers.
This tastes like Skittles. Piss.
Exactly. It's chewy. God, chewy vape is weird.
All right, so I got a question for you.
All right.
You've been doing some like hiking, backpacking kind of things lately.
Yeah. Word.
Do you vape while you're like hiking and stuff?
Yeah. Like a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm not. First of all, and this is serious. No joking. All bullshit aside. Not really into weed that much. I do have a Delta 8 pen.
Mm.
And that's the only time that I've hit it in the last fucking month. And I enjoyed it. It was fun.
Yeah.
And then definitely, because I'm not smoking cigars anymore. And honestly, I feel like smoking a vape on the trail is better than smoking cigars, because then you flick a cigar butt on the ground, or, you know.
Yeah.
And the cigars I smoke don't have filters.
Instead, you throw a battery on the ground.
No, I didn't throw anything on the ground. I recharged it. Fucking kept smoking it. But, yeah, I don't know. I feel like it's better.
Yeah, I get that. But you do like actually vape while you're on the trails and shit like that.
Oh, yeah.
Like full fucking
It's in my pocket.
full backpack on, all that shit. You're 3 miles in and you're like, I'm going to hit this vape.
Not so much like while you're hiking, but like you stop to take a break, you sit down for a minute in the shade, drink some water, and then, you know, some people might light a cigarette. I would just vape.
Gotcha. But you don't like necessarily puff on it as much. Like,
Yeah, because you don't eat that much. And it's kind of weird. Like, you would expect to, especially me, right? I like to eat. I don't know if you can tell by looking at me.
That's just great for the podcast.
But I'll get, how about this? I'll skip lunch entirely, and not because I'm just like, oh yeah, no, we're hiking and we got shit to do and I'm going to endeavor to persevere. No, that's not it. It's fucking hot. I don't want to like unpack all my shit. It's laziness is what it is.
yeah.
I don't want to unpack all my shit. I don't want to fucking cook. Like, I just want to keep going. I want to drink some water and keep going. Right.
Mm-hmm.
And then even once you get to the end, you've just been hiking all day carrying a heavy ass backpack. So you get to like your campsite or something. You set up your chair and you sit down and you're just like, I just want to sit here and chug water.
Yeah.
And then eventually you run out of water and you're like, fuck, all right, I got to go get more water. And so you walk to the creek or the river or the lake or whatever you're around. But then you have to like filter water and shit. I take this filter with me because you can't carry enough water. This is Texas. Like, you're not going to carry enough water to sustain you unless you're doing like a mile.
Sure.
Yeah.
So we were out there for way longer than that. So we're going to filter water and we're going to drink that. Anyway, I go down to the creek or the river, fill up my like bladder thing full of water, bring it back up, filter it through the filter into my bottle, and then chug that. And then eventually you get to the point where you're like, all right, I've drank enough water and I've cooled off enough that I can set up my tent and shit.
Yeah.
And, so then you got to unpack everything. And honestly, it doesn't take that long to unpack. You're just tired and don't really want to do it. But once you get started, it goes real quick because there's just not a lot, right? Like, you're carrying everything that you fucking are surviving on.
Sure.
So, you set up the camp area or whatever, and then you're like, fuck, I'm hot and thirsty again, right? Because you're already exhausted. Drink some more water. But eventually, what I figured out is that if I ate just a little bit of sugar, right? I took, because you don't want to take chocolate, I took a pack of
cheesecake.
I took an entire cheesecake. And some milk. No, I took a pack of Starbursts. And if you don't know Starbursts, there's 4 flavors and there's 3 sections, right? So I would take 4 Starbursts, 1 of each flavor, and I would force myself to eat that force, right? Like, I'm like, oh, fucking gross, Starburst. Nah, Starbursts are good. It's just that I'm not hungry because I'm fucking tired and hot.
Yeah.
But if you eat those 4 Starbursts and then keep hydrating, then that can like, that little sugar boost and that like, you know, getting back to feeling okay again and all that shit after this hike, it'll kickstart your like, okay, I need to eat now.
Mm.
And then you've already got your tent set up. You've already got your water filtered. You've already been hydrated. You got a little bit of a sugar rush and you're like, all right, cool. I can
Eat dinner now.
Yeah, I can start cooking dinner. And, so we would get to our campsite at about, I think 1:30 one day. This was just, I just got back yesterday. We'd get to our campsite about between 1:30 and 3:30. And that gives you a lot of time to like do all this shit that I'm talking about. But by the time you end up finally getting to where you're like, okay, I want to cook dinner, it starts getting close to 5, you eat dinner, and then you drink a little bit of the flask and hang out till 8 or 9 o'clock and go to sleep because you're going to get up, keep hiking. It was super cool. So we did 5 miles, 8 miles, and 3 miles. I think 5 and some change, just under, it was like 5.4 and then 8 or 7.9 or something like that. And then 2.8 or, something like that.
Yeah.
And I don't know if this is lame or not, but I got to see I saw tarantulas, I saw coyotes, I saw, armadillos fucking everywhere. I made armadillo bro friends. And I saw 2 porcupines, and what was super cool about it, I was with my dad, and earlier in that same day, I was like, I've seen did you know we have porcupines in Texas? Like, yeah, we have porcupines in Texas. And I was like, I've never seen one. Like, I've seen them run over on the side of the road just in the last 5 years, like twice.
Yeah.
And I was like, holy shit, we have porcupines here. No shit. I saw 2 porcupines in the same day at the same time. Like, I don't know. I guess they were fucking or something. But, yeah, I don't know. It was super cool.
I wouldn't recommend fucking a porcupine.
Yeah, it's not all it's cracked up to be. We were also way down in a canyon, so like you couldn't get.
You missed the opportunity to say you got a point.
Oh, nice.
Or he's got a little prick.
Hold on, let's rewind. We were way down in a canyon, so I didn't have any phone reception. That's kind of cool. And then once we got back, we hiked all the way around the whole park, and we got up on this ridge and like came up over the top of the, it was like a ridge pass. So we came up over the top of the
ridge pass.
Horizon of the canyon, and all of a sudden my phone's like ding, 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 all the fucking texts coming through. And I was like, fuck this, and I put it on airplane mode just so I could, I've already got plausible deniability. I might as well keep it running, But, yeah, it was a really good time. There's something appealing about, carrying everything that you need on your back. Is that weird?
No, I get it.
It's hard to explain, and I don't even really know why. But like, there's a balance there of, one, I'm everything that I need to sustain myself, I'm carrying, like, and then 2, you start to check what you really need, you start to run out of room, or you run out of weight, like you don't want the weight, and you start saying, okay, well, I don't really need this. I don't really need that. Okay, I do need this. If I'm going to survive, I at least need this. And, it kind of like helps you put stuff into perspective.
Yeah.
If that makes sense.
I can see that.
So you can turn back and reflect on it later and go, look, I've got a fucking air conditioner and a studio and chocolate and, TVs and Instagram and fucking video games and vapes and all this shit. And it's like, well, what would I really need just to like be happy for a little while? You need a bed. You need shelter. You need water. You definitely need water. Oh, and that's a big thing. I don't know if you know, water is kind of important.
Water is also kind of heavy.
It's super heavy. And we were only carrying 3 liters each, which is not enough. Well, 3 liters is enough for like 3 hours, if that, maybe.
3 hours.
And so the park we were in, they have this big creek that runs, it's called Gorman Creek, and it ends in this waterfall, the spectacular waterfall that
spectacular.
It really is. And like people do the whole hike just to take pictures of this fucking waterfall. But it's all spring fed. So we were,
and it's fall, so
at the end of it, there's still a little waterfall. It's big. It comes from the top of this cliff or whatever. But like if you go there when the water's flowing, it's coming down the creeks and shit and feeding into it, and the whole mountainside is a waterfall. Right now, all that shit's dried up, and it's just one little sliver of spring that's dumping water, So we get up to the top end of it, and I remember telling Dad, I was like, we don't have enough water to make it to where we need to be and not get more water in the between, right? So I went down to the river. We started at the river, and we hiked up that ridge that I was talking about. And I filled up, I had this water bladder that you can't carry it. It's just for filling up, like in shallow places. And then you can run it through your filter and fill your shit up. So, I filled up all of our shit. We did all of our cooking. We chugged as much as we could. We filled up all of our shit again, and then we were like, all right, go. And we start hiking, and you start drinking water, right? And you get done with your first little bottle, and you're like, all right, I've got my big bottle left. That's all I got. You start drinking that, and then you're like, okay, the first creek that we were supposed to cross is dry. And then you look at your bottle, and you're like, all right, I got 3/4 of a bottle of water left. That's it. All right, well, there's 2 more creeks, you know? So we keep hiking several more miles. It's getting later in the day. It's getting hotter. You're drinking more water, right? It's going faster. And you get to the second creek, and you go, it's fucking dry. And now it's like, okay, there's only 1 more creek between here and where we camp. There's no water at where we camp, and we're going to have to, like, cook food and do dishes and brush our teeth and do all that shit. And we've got, like, 1/3 of a water bottle left each. Mm. And, dude, there's a little bit of, strategy. I don't know what to call it. Panic. Yeah. You know, you start to go, we don't have enough water to do what it is that we set out to do. So we're going to have to adapt our plans some. So what I ended up doing, we looked at our map and we made this game plan. And rather than our options were either hike like we had planned all the way to our campsite, and we would basically run out of water at our campsite. We were done. Mm. And now we have to sleep a night with no water, which means no food. And then you got to hike 3 miles the next morning back to the truck. Or we could take another route, which was a little bit longer even, but it would take us straight to the truck, but we miss our campsite. What it also did is took us to a lower point in that creek, right? Mm. So there's still a creek left that might have water in it, though we've had 0 luck today. We're almost out of water, and I convinced Dad, I was like, let's change our path. Let's go a little bit further down the creek, closer to, like, imagine just downstream, right? Yeah. We're going to cross it there. If we get there and there's water flowing, we go, fuck, we should have continued on our path, and we can always take a left and hike a little bit more if we want to, or we can go back to the truck where we know there's water, or at least a way to get water. Yeah. Well, what inevitably happened, and the other option that could have happened, is we get to the creek and we go, there's no water here, which there wasn't. That basically tells us, well, that means there's no water further up the river, which was our last chance at getting water, which means we would be, like, dying now. Yeah. You know? And basically it went from that one little decision that we made, was the difference between us going, cool, we did what we set out to do, let's jump in the truck and go get chicken wings and beer, which is the option that we chose. Yeah. Or we could have stuck with our pride. We could have gone, fuck it, there might be water in this creek, and there wouldn't have been because we crossed the creek downriver and there was no creek, right? So further upriver, there's definitely no creek. We could have stuck with our pride, stuck with our plan, gone to the campsite, toughed it out, whatever the fuck you want to call it, and it would have been an emergency. Yeah. You know what I mean? Not just a problem, but literally an emergency. Like, we're dehydrated, we're tired, we can't go anymore, and we're 3 miles away from escape. Mm-hmm. And we have 0 water. So we made the right decision, and we even made a decision not to, like, necessarily tell the wife, you know, my mom and my wife, his wife and his daughter-in-law. Right. We made the decision not to tell them at the time. We'll tell them that at, like, later. But yeah, if for that decision at least, which path do we take? We altered our plans so that we wouldn't end up in an emergency situation. And I'm making it sound a little bit more dramatic than it was, but how easy would it have been to just continue on that same path and be like, oh fuck, now we gotta, like, call the ranger station and get help, you know? Yeah. And it's real easy to land in that situation.
So, I mean, in theory, like, just me asking questions, in theory, couldn't have, like, you dropped your pack and made it to the truck?
Yeah, but it's still 3 miles with no water. Yeah. And, I'm reluctant to even tell this part of the story. So we got to the nature of this trail that we took, the alternate route we decided to take. We ended up at this trailhead that was along the road that our truck was on, but it was still 1.1 miles away from the truck. The road was. And, all we had left each was, like, basically 1 gulp of water, right? And Dad is an older dude. He's also a fucking trooper. The whole time, dude, this guy's like 60 years old, you know? And, never once, he bitched and complained, but in kind of like a funny way. But he kept up. He didn't fucking slow down. He didn't stop. But we got to that T in the road and he was like, hey, I need to take a break. Let's take a break and figure out where to go from here. And that's the way it was going. It was like, every time we stopped to take a break, we'd look at the map, we'd look at our water, we'd look at the truck, we'd look at the fucking campsite, we'd look up, it was like that. It was game time decisions,
Yeah.
So anyway, we're 1.1 miles away from the truck at this point. We're 2 miles away from the campsite. We've already figured out that there's no water to be had on this end of the park. The nearest water is about 5 miles away. So the truck is the destination.
Sure.
Well, we get there and Dad was just like, dude, he's got a fucking scar on his knee that's like Frankenstein motherfucker, where his knee blew out and they rebuilt it.
Yeah.
And he was just like, dude, this last mile on 1.1 miles is going to suck. And I was like, and let's be real, we're going to be walking down the street, not through like meadows and trees and shit where there's shade.
Right.
And we're looking at our water and there's literally just like one gulp left in our bottles. Each of us have like one gulp left. And I was like, all right, Dad, look, the options at this point are either both of us take what we have, carry everything we've got, and we hike the 1.1 miles along the road, black asphalt, in the sun in the late afternoon, and we try to get to the truck. Or, let me throw this out there. You sit right here and you don't move. I take your water. I drink your water right now. I take my water and I hike 1.1 miles without a backpack and go pick up the truck and come back here and pick you up.
Yeah.
And he was like, yeah, but I want to finish too. And I was like, Dad, you're 1.1 miles away from an entire like fucking hike. Like you got here. You did it. You did what you set out to do. There's no shame in this. And then I was like, if we're just being real, like either way, I've got to hike this 1.1 miles. I would rather do it without a backpack than with a backpack. Because if you come with me, I'm going to have to carry my backpack this 1.1 miles and I'm going to get half the water. I'd rather have double the water and no backpack. I was like, you just sit here, let me go, and, we'll get out of this. Mm-hmm. And so that's the route we ended up taking. And, dude, it took 20 minutes. I fucking booked it up the road, 1.1 miles, got in the truck, cranked the AC, slammed as much water out of the cooler as I could, and then drove back the 1.1 miles and picked that up. We went and ate chicken wings and drank beer. It was awesome.
Hell yeah.
But I guess it's an adventure. It really is. And when you set out, you don't know. That's what I mean. It wasn't scary, but it was real. You know what I mean?
Shit could go south and it could be bad.
And so it's not, you just have to keep your head. You just have to be smart about it. And we were, both of us. He was, I was.
Yeah.
We were realistic about our situations. We were realistic about our prospects, and we were smart about the decisions we made. And so it ended up being that it was just a fun adventure. It did get kind of hairy towards the end, but we were never in any real danger. It was just, if we'd have made a wrong decision, we could have been,
Right.
So, and that's what it's about. Like, it's never going to go the way you expect. One time I went hiking and I was like, oh, look, the campsite's right next to the water. Cause I'm looking at it on the maps right next to the water, right? So I'll be able to get water, Well, I get there and I'm on top of a cliff. It's like 60 feet straight down to the water. You're not getting water there, So you have to be able to adapt. You have to be able to just be smart and figure stuff out. And that's, I don't know, that's what it's about. That and, figuring out what it is that you actually need and what's going to help you and what's not. Dude, there's shit that I thought for sure I'm going to use this. And you just never do,
Yeah.
So I don't know. It's fun. It's a cool, I don't know if it's a sport. It's a
hobby.
Maybe
it's a sport.
I don't know if sport's the right word, but it's definitely like I don't know. There's a word for it. I know.
Well, fishing's a sport. I don't see how hiking's not a sport.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
But is it an Olympic sport?
Is hunting an Olympic sport?
Dude, Dad is a trooper. 60 years old, and that motherfucker was like, nah, keep going. Let's go.
I guess, pinning the story or whatever, like, he made it, 15 miles-ish?
Yeah, he did 15 miles. And, see, I hate saying distance. Distance is not a good, metric.
Because of the terrain and...
Right. And sometimes 15 miles is easy. 15 miles is flat. 15 miles is across, meadows with trees occasionally to get shade. And it's cool. And there's streams that you cross.
And sometimes half a mile straight up is a fucking endeavor.
And Gorman Falls, by the way, I kept catching myself trying to cheerlead or pep talk him because he was like, "Oh man, that fucking hill at Gorman Falls wore me out, dude." It was closer to rock climbing than it was to walking.
Yeah,
right. That's what we were doing.
You had to use your hands.
You had to use your hands for sure.
Yeah.
it was that steep, you know? And we got done with that 1.1 miles, and he was just like, you know, he was gassed. I was gassed. It was fucking hard. And, it's 0.1 miles, you know? It's just physically intense. And I remember telling him, that's where I was going back to the cheerleading thing. He was like, dude, I'm just wore out from that fucking going down and then back up at Gorman Falls. And I was like, well, to be fair, I remember thinking how weird it was that this is the like big feature at this park is Gorman Falls. You know, that's what people go there to do. And it was also the most intense like trail because they rate the trails on how intense they are to hike. It was the most intense stretch of hiking was going down to Gorman Falls and back up. It was like expert. You need to be an expert hiker to do this.
Damn.
Which is probably, you know, if you go down there with a little like or one of those little like backpacks with the strings, you know?
Sure.
And you're taking a lunch and you go down there and you eat lunch with your significant other and then you go back up and hike back. It's probably not that bad. But when you got a 50-pound pack on your back and you've been hiking for miles and miles, that's
for a couple of days.
Yeah, that shit is intense,
Yeah,
dude.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So it sucks to say like distance.
Yeah.
Because everybody wants to be like, oh, I can hike fucking, 30 miles in 2 days. And it's like, yeah, you can. Also, you can't. Like, in a different place, you can't.
Yeah. Hiking 15 miles on the prairie is different than hiking 15 miles in the Appalachian Mountains. It's fucking not the same.
No.
But it was a super cool experience. There's stuff like you miss your trail where your trail intersects.
Yeah.
The angle is weird, or there's a tree in the way, or there's no markings, or you know what I mean?
Yeah, you get off on a weird trail and you're like, this is
and then you have to figure out where you're at, you know? And you know, if you don't panic, you're never really in any danger, but you can't say that either because so many people get out there and get lost. And how about this?
Out there, though, they get lost?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, dude, for sure.
Is it big, like huge?
Yeah, it's a huge part. How about this? That night, after we decided to go to the truck instead of to go to the campsite, Dad was already asleep in the hotel room. We'd already drank our beer and ate our chicken wings and ordered pizza and all that shit, you know? He was asleep. I was watching the football game, and I get a text on my phone right as I was like dozing off. What the fuck? Or no, it was a phone call, and it says, the name of the Lane Passes, the city we're in. And I was like, what the fuck? And I missed it because I was kind of dozing off. So I am trying to look up the number or whatever, and I get a text message, and it's like, hey, my name's whatever the fuck. I'm the superintendent for this park that you were at. We just wanted to check and make sure that you were okay. And then it was like, one of the other guests reported a mountain lion in the area, and we noticed that your truck was still at the park, but your camp wasn't set up at your campsite that you were supposed to be at. And I texted him back, and I was like, dude, we left like several hours ago. Our truck isn't at the park anymore. Yes, we're safe, but we're not at the campsite. And it was just he was just checking on us, right? Like he thought he had lost a couple people.
Damn.
But that's how I guess that's how intense it could have gotten, you know?
Yeah.
So yeah, people get lost out there for sure,
And attacked by mountain lions.
and apparently attacked by mountain lions. That's a thing.
Dude, so my wife told me a story about her and her mom and her brother when she was a young lass were going through, I think, Big Bend, maybe. And the three of them got stalked by a mountain lion, and they didn't know. So this was the whole thing. We had talked about trying to move to Colorado and stuff like that, right? And she was like, I know there's mountain lions out there, and mountain lions freak me the fuck out. And I was asking her about the,
Why that? Yeah.
Why that? And, she's like, we got stalked by a mountain lion at Big Bend Park, and we could not hear it. It followed us for a mile, and we had no fucking idea that it was there.
How did they know it was there then?
Because from my understanding, it was something like you were talking about, where somebody else showed up and was like,
yo,
hey, I know this is here and I've been following it, kind of thing.
Yeah, I don't know. I never get scared of...
Maybe that's why you guys shouldn't have gone further.
I never get scared of wildlife. I've never encountered a mountain lion. I have encountered a bobcat, and that's a little bit sketchy. But,
dude, have you ever seen that video of the dude that just fucking yeets a bobcat?
Oh, yeah. A bobcat attacked my wife!
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah! Yeah, that's a good video. I love that shit.
Yeah.
Bobcats are just mountain lions on crack, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, bobcats are a lot smaller, but
mountain lion. That's a formidable foe.
There's that guy who like beat one up though.
yeah.
He was on TV and stuff.
There's also a guy that beat up a kangaroo, though, and I don't like my chances in either of those fights, to be honest.
Dude, you wouldn't be able
Especially if you didn't know the mountain lion was there.
Yeah.
you wouldn't be able to beat up a hog though.
No.
Yeah, I don't know if I should admit this or not. How about this? It would make sense to carry a small pistol or firearm if you were out hiking in an area like that, you know? But I just don't know what something hypothetically like, say, like a 380 would do to a hog if it decided to fuck with you.
Or what the park would do to you if you shot a hog out there.
I get the impression
Dude,
that you do know what a 380 would do to a hog.
Actually, I do, and it does fucking nothing.
Yeah. But
Actually, I don't know what a 380 would do. I do know what a 357 will do, which is a lot bigger and different.
Yeah.
And it's fucking nothing is the answer.
So
Piss it off.
this is the question that I have for you. You were talking about like carrying all the shit on your back that like like you can sustain yourself with this pack, right?
Yeah.
Do you carry like a slingshot or like a did you
A
ever
blowgun?
consider the option of
Like
like
an atlatl or something?
yeah. Did you ever consider the option of like
A spear?
hitting a squirrel or something?
No. It's not food. Food's not the problem.
I mean, it would be eventually.
Yeah, I took a lot of food. I took probably twice as much food as I should have.
Right, but that was for 3 days. I'm saying if you were carrying everything that you needed on your back.
Oh, dude. Like a pistol BB gun
Yeah.
might be all you would need. Really? Really? Because you're going to run up and hit a fucking porcupine with a stick or something. You know what I mean? Like, you just need to be able to shoot a squirrel, catch a fish. That's really where you want to be.
An
Catch
armadillo.
fish.
You can get leprosy.
Yeah, I mean, my thoughts were like squirrels, rabbits,
Deer. You get a nice deer, have some venison.
I think a deer is really hard to take down with a BB gun or a fucking slingshot.
What if you like wrestled it though? I saw these dudes.
I have
wrestling
no
cows.
interest in wrestling a deer, ever.
You could like break its neck and stuff.
I saw a deer stomp a collie to death one time on the internet.
Yeah.
Whoa.
I've seen some deer fuck people up before. I have no interest
I think a bow is the way to be. If you were trying to like survive, you would want a bow. And
It would have to be a fucking recurve bow.
Yeah.
Why
Because
don't you,
a compound bow would be too heavy, I think.
Yeah.
why don't
that's
you
right.
just go to like an HEB to survive?
Because that costs money.
But you want a bow instead.
I already own a bow.
Oh, I guess makes sense.
And on that Alone show that I watched, it's called Alone, where they try to survive. It's
Do you watch
10
it alone?
motherfuckers.
Oh, you're one of these motherfuckers?
See-
You watched a reality TV show, and now you're like, I'm gonna go fucking live out in the woods.
No, that's not what we did. Two different things, entirely different. But what they do is they carry a bow, and they always carry recurve because you can adjust how hard like the draw weight is, right? Like I can pull back all the way, and it's shooting 65 pounds. You can take down a deer or something with that, or you can just pull it back a little bit and shoot, something with a blunt end, and you can hit a grouse or some kind of bird or
A snipe.
squirrel or snipe. Yeah.
Squirrel.
Yeah.
Rabbit.
So it's a bow, a recurve bow is what you would need to survive.
Yeah.
But that's not what we were doing. We were hiking, which is a different thing. You pack in your food and you filter water, right?
So, I'm interested in this, right? Like, I want to go do what you're talking about. However, the ultimate goal for why I'm interested in it is because, I was talking about, like, we're looking at trying to go to Colorado or something like that. And I think it would be fucking dope if I could go out to the property that we're talking about and carry a pack, go camp out there, but also, like, carry a bow and...
Shoot an elk and make some pants out of it.
No. While that would be fucking rad.
Tell me that wouldn't be cool. Act like that wouldn't be cool.
While that would be fucking rad.
That's what they need to name the fucking vapes that kill an elk and make some pants out of it.
Elk pants.
But what I was thinking is more like, rabbits, squirrels, shit like that. And then you can like make some kind of food out of that. And I'm not saying don't bring fucking food. Like obviously you should. But
Dude, honestly, it's water. It's water. Dude, you don't appreciate water until you don't have it. And that shit, you need a lot of water.
my thought is like set up a base camp, you have a drum, and I'm talking over seasons, right? So you let the drum fill up and then filter the water
Yeah, but
out
then
of
the
the drum.
zombies come to the water and they fall in it, and then the whole water supply is ruined.
Yeah,
You get
you got a point.
mosquitoes and it's over.
That's no good. Mosquitoes are... So, alright. answer me this. One more thing before we close this out. You just became Supreme Emperor of the entire world, right?
Uh-huh.
What is the first fucking thing that you do?
I'm
So
gonna
the reason I asked this and the reason it came up is because one of the things that I saw somebody mention was get rid of fucking mosquitoes.
Oh, I have that kind of power? We're a god.
Yeah.
I am a god.
So, and here's the thing. Mosquitoes do have some kind of like involvement in the ecosystem. So somebody else was like, fuck mosquitoes, bed bugs. Fuck bed bugs. They don't do anything. They're just fucking assholes.
Yeah, but I haven't had a whole lot of experience with bed bugs.
Me either. But
Mosquitoes fuck me up kind of a lot. I also feel like fire ants, right? Like, we can get rid of fire ants. What about wasps?
Yeah.
Wasps don't really do shit.
yeah.
Yeah.
Bees are cool. Like, they do shit. Wasps, they're just assholes.
Why are we getting rid of shit, though? Why don't we do something cool like take a nap or go eat a steak or something?
So there is a correct answer to this.
All right. What is it?
Dolphins.
Fuck dolphin.
Yeah. And they're rainbow farts. Assholes.
The correct answer is 2 chicks at the same time.
Obviously. The Whiskey and Whiskers website is up. It's whiskeyandwhiskerspodcast.com. If you'd like to support the show, there's links to our Patreon with pledges starting at just $1 a month at whiskeyandwhiskerspodcast.com. You can also find links to the show no matter how you choose to listen. We're on iTunes, YouTube, Spotify, Google Play, Podbean, Pandora, Audible, everywhere, so go look us up. And there's live feeds to our social media on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. We're on the That's Not Canon network. There's tons of great podcasts no matter what you like to listen to. Most importantly, if you made it this far in the show, you're a bad motherfucker. Go to our website, whiskeyandwhiskerspodcast.com. Click that bad motherfucker link. Your donations keep the show going. It allows us to keep bringing that fire, keep drinking these bottles, and keep making you laugh. Go to the website, click the link, and subscribe. There's some perks there, too. Once you become a member, go see what's up. Go to whiskeyandwhiskerspodcast.com and donate to our Patreon. New episodes every Monday. New content all the time. We'll see you next week.